What's up, YouTube? This is LA Prepper, and we have another product review of a piece of cardboard box that I need to get rid of. So this is a Harbor Freight Superior Pump, thermoplastic. So it's interesting, there's two different types of plastic, thermoplastic plastic and thermoset plastic. Thermoset plastic, once it reaches a certain temperature, you can mold it, but then after it gets molded, it cannot be molded again. Thermoplastic plastic, you can heat to a temperature, mold, let it cool, then heat to the temperature again and mold it again. Learned that in one of my manufacturing classes. So this is a pretty powerful little pump. Let's see here, tethered float switch, 1 1/4 to 1.5 NPT. Discharge, 1/8 of an inch solids. Yeah, I guess it's pretty small. Clog resistant impeller, 10-foot power supply cord. So this pump definitely works pretty great. My only sort of criticisms are, one, the pump is actually so strong that when it turns on, it tends to kind of move a little bit. So if you put it in like a normal 5-gallon bucket, there's a very good chance that it will move in such a way that this float doesn't work. So they have ones that have floats that are kind of next to them. But my advice would be, if you're going to put it in a bucket, fill the bottom of the bucket with gravel, pea gravel or rocks or something to kind of fix the pump in place. The water will still flow past the rocks. Or secure the pipe to the top of the bucket or the hole that it's in. You want to make sure that no matter how many times your pump turns off and on, that the float is able to move up and down. And honestly, the float, when you have it in a bucket, that's like barely enough space for the float to work. So I would really consider, if you have to do a sump pump, do it something in a little bit bigger, kind of like a tote like that. 24 gallons per hour. I don't doubt it. This thing is pretty aggressive. Lists here some discharge height. So it's going to discharge a little less the higher you have to go. But I think it was something like 40 or 50 bucks. It works really well. I was using it to try to drain some of the sewage from the drain pipe that was coming from the garage and all that nonsense. So the grates on the bottom are a little small, which is kind of annoying if you happen to accidentally suck something up bigger, but at the same time it does stop the pump clogging. So it kind of depends. If you want bigger holes, you risk the pump jamming, but it also might pump up stuff bigger than 1/8 of an inch. If you don't mind the smaller holes, it will jam less, but stuff like leaves and, if you're using it for like the sewage stuff that I was using it for, a piece of toilet paper, will definitely get in the way. So some type of pea gravel, maybe near the bottom, and then rocks, and then secure it. And that'll keep some of the big junk out and will keep your sump pump operational. Of course, you still need to have room for this float to work. And by the way, this float, sump pumps in general, if you get a sump pump that doesn't have a float, or you get like, say, a water fountain pump, you can buy these floats separately for like 20 bucks or something at Home Depot or Lowe's. So don't trip out if you don't need this many gallons per hour. You want to get a cheaper pump, just get a separate float switch. Make sure the float switch is secured. Honestly, the pump can kind of move around. The pipe, it's going to be connected to a pipe, but I had mine connected to a garden hose, so it was really kind of twisting around. If you have it connected solidly to some plastic pipe, it probably won't twist around so much, depending on how all your pipes set up. But yeah, pompe de vidange. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm butchering that Spanish. Actually, oh, that's French. Pompe de vidange. This is the bomba de sumidero. Construcción en termoplástico resistente. Well, anyways. So, there you have it, YouTube. The Superior Pump, 1/3 horsepower with the float switch. Works pretty well. Watch out for clogging the bottom. Watch out for it spinning aggressively when it turns on. Till next time, like, comment, subscribe, and keep prepping.